Lil O. They call me Lil O because he was Big O. And then once I got here, or kind of like my senior year coming here, everyone just like started calling me Och. And then I was just like, okay, or O. But people have called me O before. So. Yeah. O.
Well, just talk about your life with you've always got attention for your great play, but obviously you stepped it up a lot, even though it's been a small sample size. Besides scoring a lot more points, has changed for you?
Really just everything about my game. My mindset towards it, my approach towards the game, my approach in practice, and like even when I'm just working out by myself, I think just my whole like mental, my mind space has just changed from stepping into the role of being a leader for this team. So,
are you the kind of guy that do you have someone that's trying to keep you like humble, or is this something you naturally?
Something I'm natural at. I think that's kind of how I've always carried myself, no matter what's going on. If you're up here or down here, like remaining that same person, because people notice that. I mean, I don't ever like gloat about it or like tell people about it, but people notice that kind of stuff, and I think that's just the way I always try to live my life.
Have you had someone that like build you up in past after a bad game?
Yeah, teammates, coaches, best friends, family. I mean, they always have that support, and I know who those people are, and that no matter if I'm doing good or bad, that they're always going to be there to support me. So,
okay, what does it feel like to kind of be that guy, that assert yourself and be the guy? Because you've been on a lot of teams that had those guys and you filled your role and all that, but how's that going in your head, and what does that feel like to know that that's you now?
It's really crazy just to see like the grand scheme of things, like from coming from my freshman year, and like just different changing and like roles and like how I played from year to year. But this team that I have now is they have the most respect for me, and I have the most respect for them too. So I think having that chemistry with them, I think carries me and makes me feel comfortable being in this position.
Did you have to have probably a discussion or a conversation is a little dramatic, but did you have to talk to these guys or tell your teammates, like, hey, this is how I'm going to be this year, especially guys that have been around you in the past? I mean, did you have those discussions, or did you just show them?
Just kind of showing them from the second I got here in the summer. It was kind of late, but all the guys were like, the second I was there and I started practice, everyone knew that I was on a mission. So I feel like it was more of just follow my lead, watch how I work day in, day out, just like, you notice something that I do, like take note of that and, carry that and do that yourself. So just like leading by example with everything I do, kind of going back to being humble too. So
how much of it came from the feedback that you got from the NBA people?
I mean, the most of it, I think just being assertive was the number one thing, being assertive. And I think that's kind of just, been on repeat in my head since that moment that I got told that, and just like, I'm just trying to keep it going throughout the season.
Did you hear it more than once?
Just once.
Just once.
Yeah.
All the
Mm-hmm.
Where did you work out? During that span?
I was in Phoenix.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When was that one moment when you were told you started?
It was after my last workout with the Raptors. I talked to the GM, or I sat down with the GM and the front office people and told them I was still like leaning on going in or, going back to school. And they told me, if you go back to school, this is the one thing, like being assertive, assert yourself more on the defensive end, offensive end, just being more aggressive about my game and, my mentality. So.
Does being in a natural position of leadership, just given your status of the team and not playing so well, does that take on added urgency, the fact that you're leading a team that looks like it could be one of the best in the country, maybe has a chance to do something special? Is there added urgency given the circumstance?
Not really, no. I felt like things kind of just happened naturally. I fell into that role naturally. I wasn't like what he was talking about. I didn't come back and like sit down my team and say something to him about like, I'm the leader of this team. Like, I think it was kind of just instilled in me when I came back. It was just everyone was on this different like wavelength of just like he's the guy that's going to lead us. But also, I mean, I still look up to other people on our team as leaders also. So I'm not like above anyone else on my team. So that's how I see it.
What are your thoughts on the team dynamic? What do you, from the way the team's performed so far this point in the season?
I feel like from these 3 games, I mean, you really can't tell much. Obviously, I'm waiting a little bit more until we get in the conference. You know, that's when we really, form as a team. But I know that the experience that we have now, I think is going to carry us a long way throughout the season.
I remember back when Dotson was still here, we talked about before you guys went to Maui, it's about trophies this year. It's about winning these types of tournaments.
Yeah.
You guys have an opportunity to do that this week. Same focus for you? Have you guys had that discussion, and where's your mind with that?
I'm actually about to go talk to him about it now, like right before we leave or right before practice. It's like, this is when the lights are going to be on. This is what, what we came here to do is, win trophies, win championships, compete for championships, whether it's an entering game or North Texas or Alabama, stuff like that. So it's, just having that same mindset through every single game.
Different focus to go win a tournament? What does it take? 3 games in 4 days?
Staying on top of, keeping your body straight, recovering well, getting sleep, getting rest, staying on top of that. I think eating right, just little things like that will translate to, lasting longer once we get to Sunday.
What stands out to you about our depth in general? And then I want to ask you about Zach, who just comes in nonchalantly knocking down.
I mean, that's what he does in practice. So it's like nothing we haven't seen. Everything the guys are displaying their talents, whether it's like cutting the basket or like making good plays, shooting threes, like J. Cole. There's nothing we haven't seen. So I know everyone has confidence in those guys, and that's only going to help us and help them. So
Thanks, Coach.
thank you, guys.
Thank you.